Good thing, right? The new headache for us. So let's say object dot name equals to Travis Head. You know Travis Head? Who is Travis Head? Array. I am asking to them, you know Travis Head? Yes, who is Travis Head? Cricketer. Indian cricketer. Then say properly. India ka? Have you guys any shame? No? Out. What is this India ka baap? You're a professional here, right? Have some words. How you are using words here in class? It's not good. Then we will say object dot age. When you are trying to set the age, let's say I will say 28. Now this is a student who's having two properties, name and age, and then I have created an object and then setting the values. Now we will try to print these values. So console.log. Inside this, if you are saying object.name, and then after, let's give a space here, and after that, okay, name is not a function, then object.age. This is what we are trying to do here. Let's open the terminal. You know the shortcut of opening the terminal? You know? Because generally I am not going there now, like this way, terminal, new terminal. What I am doing is simply pressing some keys and terminal is getting open. So let me tell you those keys. The keys are control plus shift plus this one. You know where is this? Below the escape button. Okay, so control shift this particular symbol, it will open the terminal. Now terminal is open. So first thing what we can do is, and if you want to open the existing terminal, simple, if you want to open the existing terminal, means this terminal is already open. Let me cut down. If you are typing control shift and that icon, it will open a new terminal. But if you want to open the previous terminal, then control and that without using shift. Okay, now if you want to run this, at first we will run the TypeScript file. So I will say tsc recap.ts, and after that I will say node recap.js, and it is printing Travis Head 28. Of course it is supposed to print like that. Now why I am setting the values like this? This is like a lengthy method, right? We should have something that we can directly assign the values. What I want is, I am giving these values to the student only. So what I can do, can I write here directly, let's say Travis Head and then 23 or 28, whatever, but it is an error now because we are not having a constructor. So if you want to write your values in this way directly, shortcut, so what you can do, here you can create a constructor. And what is a constructor? Yesterday we have seen that constructor as a special method which is used to initialize the values. How it will initialize? It will accept two numbers. It will accept two numbers. Or if you don't know what is a constructor, let me tell you. Now let me remove everything from here, and this is also I will remove. Now what I am doing is, this is what I'm trying to say. Here if I'm saying console.log, and obviously you cannot do this console log directly to the class, so let me remove it. Once you are running the application, so let's say tsc recap.ts and then node recap.js, it is not printing anything. What we have discussed in the definition of constructor, we have discussed that constructor is a special method that we will use to initialize the objects, and it is automatically called when a new instance of class is created. Now let me try to print console.log object is created. Object is, Now there is a benefit of this constructor. Whenever you are creating an object of class, this will be automatically called, right? This will be automatically called. This is the benefit of using this constructor. Now what I have done, I have just simply created the object of the class. Let me check now again. So recap.ts and then node recap.js, and it is saying that object is, so whenever you will create an object of class, the constructor will call every time. Now if you are creating another object, then it will be called 2 times. So now I have done simple let o equals to new student, and same way if you are running your file, so tsc recap.ts and then object is created 2 times. Okay, understood? Now case is very simple. This constructor we will use to construct the value or simply initialize the values. What I will do is this constructor will accept two values, n which will be in string, and one thing it will accept as age, and which will be in, or let's say a which will be in number. So technically I am taking these two parameters only. After that you can check, this is taking error now. Whenever you are saying to your constructor that it will accept two values, now constructor is getting called when you are trying to create the object. That's a error, because constructor is expecting these two arguments, that please give me two values, then only I will work, right? So generally we used to say, like when we were child, that give me 10 rupees, then only I will go to school, right? And instead of 10 rupees I used to get two slaps, one from father and one from mother. Then we will go school without 10 rupees. Now this student is expecting two arguments. So technically first argument is name. So let's write the name here. Let's say any name I will write ABC, and then if I am writing value as 23, error is gone. But can I use these values now? So let's try to print. If I will say that console.log object dot name, and then give some space and then say object dot age, this is what I am saying. If you are trying to run this, so let's say tsc recap.ts and then node recap.js, it is saying that undefined, both of these values are undefined. What does this undefined mean? It means that you are taking the values, but values are actually going to this constructor only, and technically in this n, and this voice is breaking. Guys, just ping me fast if I'm properly audible to everyone. Guys, am I audible? Okay, fine. Mansi, check your internet connection because I am audible to everyone. Now what we are going to do, the problem is we are giving the values. The values are going to this constructor, values are not going to this class. How to give these thing to class? For that we will say that this dot age means, or let's say first thing is this dot name. So this dot name means the name of class here, and its value will be coming from n, and n is the part of constructor. And then if I'm writing this dot age equals to a, now constructor will accept the values and it will also assign the values to the class, and that's how you can directly run it. Let's say tsc recap.ts and then node, and it is printing abc and 23, printing. That is what the use of constructor. If I am giving the same variable name, let's say name here I will give, and age I will give here, means exact same name that I am giving to the class. So technically it will be having no issue because constructor is different and class is different here, right? Okay, understood? Now there is one else keyword, that keyword is named super. So first let's try to run this part. Okay, execution flow. See, the execution here is very simple. Let me take this code. There is a class student, or let's talk here. Let me close this class. Technically, you are trying to create an object of a class whose name is student, and you are providing it with two arguments. First argument is ABC, which is a string. Second argument is 23. Now, where these two values are going? So technically, class is not having any argument. Like in this way, it's not having, because it's a class, it's not a function. So these two things are going to the constructor of class. So technically these things are going to, let me write here, n and a. So these things are going to n, name is going to n, age is going to a. This is what things are going on. Now if I am not setting the values, so this is what we are trying to say. Now let's try to run it. So I will say tsc recap.ts. .ts means TypeScript, recap.js, and for both of the values it is saying that both of the values are undefined even after we are setting the values. Now this constructor is accepting the values, but this constructor should set those values to the class. For that, if you are writing name equals to n, this name will create error because this should be marked with this keyword. So this dot name means you are talking the name property of class. So this dot name equals to n. This particular n will set its value to name, and same way this dot age is equals to a. Okay, this dot age equals to a, and now we are able to get the values. So let's run the file again, and yes, we are getting the values. So this is the use of constructor. Okay, this is the use of understood? Okay, now let's talk about getters and setters. I think there only you have good number of problems, right? And yes, it's a important thing also. So getters and setter means, now I will give you an example. Let's say whenever you are going to bank, how many of you have withdraw the cash from bank or from the ATM? How many of you have withdraw the cash from ATM? Technically, like once in a life, almost all of us have did that. So tell me, how much money will be there in the ATM? If we want to do something naughty things there, how much money will be there? We don't know actually. It can be in lakhs, maybe in crores also. But how much money you have access to? Only that much within your limits, right? So technically, ATM machine is hiding all the sensitive information inside, but ATM machine is giving us an interface. By using that interface, we can withdraw money. I mean, we can work, right? It is not like that ATM has money inside and you cannot use it. You can use it, but with some limitations, right? So ATM, the inside thing of ATM is a private thing, so technically not available for everyone, but it is available with your ATM card, with your PIN number, and within your account limit. Now let's say there is a class of anyone. Let's say there is a class of trainer here, right? There is a class of trainer, and now generally I will take those two parameter. Name will be in string and age will be in number. Here we don't have int, float, char, double. Here simple we have a string or numbers. Now what I want is everybody knows my name, so it's a public thing, right? Let's say around 250 students are there in this class collectively, both online and offline. Everybody knows the name. It is displayed lots of places. So technically, if you are not writing this public keyword, then also it's by default public only. And what is this public? Access modifier, that where you can access this, right? Where you can access this. So public means you can access it anywhere publicly. Wherever you will create the object of class, you can use it. And age I will set to private. Okay, age I will set to private. Right now, let's create an object of class. So I will say let object equals to new trainer. Object equals to new trainer. And then if you are trying to set the values, so I will say object dot name equals to Shivam. Right? If you are trying to set the value for age, object dot age equals to, even it's a error here, object dot age equals to, and what the error is, error will say you property age is private and it is only accessible within the class trainer. You can use this age inside class only. But what is this now? We should be able to set the value, right? We should be able to set the value. So technically this private thing is there. Now how you will access this? Using getters and setters. How? Let me show you. Here I will say let's generate two things, public, and getters and setters are function name. So I will say public set age, set age. Set is a function which will take one value a and which will be in number. Understood? And after taking this value, what it will do? It will say this dot age equals to a. Again, same way. We are setting the value of age to from a. Now this set age function will accept the value. This set age function is taking one argument. It means it will accept that age value, and what it will do? It will set the value to this age. But again, it's private, you cannot access it. What I will do is I will create a public function here, public get age, and these are the function name. You can write anything here. What get age will do? It will be a function, so simply it will return this dot age. It will return the age, return this dot age. So this function is used to set the age and this function is used to get the age. Now if you are writing object dot set age, and now age will be available, let's say 10 if I am writing here. Done. How to print these values? So let's say console dot log, and here if you are writing in this way, object dot name plus space and then object dot get age, we will use the get age function, and it is a function, so that's why I will call the function here. Understood? Let's try to use it. And yes, it is printing Shivaman 10, right? So getters and setters are used to access the private variables outside of the class. So generally, can we give space between set age? No, it should be a one keyword. This is a function name, guys. Okay, let's say if I'm writing only set and here I will write only get, this is just a function name. It's not a big deal. Generally your code will be too longer. That's why we are using naming conventions like this, that we can easily find them. This is just a function name. Now it's not like that set and age, but technically you will be having 10 variables. You will be generating getters and setters for everyone. That's how you use it. Let's check recap.ts, and yes, again it is just a function name, and generally we don't have space between our function names. It will be a error. Then this set will become a keyword here. This set will become a keyword here. So we don't give, we can give underscore, okay, but no need, just keep it simple and sorrow set is and get is. Okay, if I am marking my name also private, if I am saying that name is also private now, so you can not directly set the name now. So let's generate the getters and setters now. For name also, how you will set, let me tell you that also. So these are the getters and setter, these two. In the class only you have to do it. So I will say that public set name. Set name is a function which will accept one value as n, and which will be in string. And what it will do, this dot name equals to n, it will set that value to name and just get its value. So again it will be a public function, public get name. And what get name will do, it will simply return this dot name. Okay, now here age is getting set by this way, you can set the name also. So I will say object dot set name, and name is a function and it will accept one value, Shivam. Here instead of name, what you have to print, object dot get name, object dot get name. Okay, and something is missing, function. This is get name is a function, so you have to call the function. Okay, done. These are the getters and setter. I am confused because of Google information. It says this a getter method starts with the keyword get. For which particular language, Mansi? Each and every language has different type of execution and different type of initialization of getters and setter. Don't get confused and don't believe everything that Google is saying you, right? Do the background check for some of the informations. Generally for programming, don't use anything from Google or Chat GPT, right? Anything. You can use Stack Overflow. How many of you know about Stack Overflow? How many of you know about Stack Overflow? Okay, some online people knows about it. Stack Overflow, you know? No. Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is a website that is generally developed for the developers. There you can find your errors. I will show you that website. So technically, the experienced people write their solution there. Stack Overflow, this website. Okay. Now let's say whatever you want to use here. So go to this website, and if you want to check, let's say I will write here getter and setter in TypeScript. If you write like this, and okay, you can log in. Actually I have not logged in here. So now these things you will get here, so you can read these. Now these are the answers written by experts. Experts mean those who are already working in industry from like 5 to 10 years, right? So generally we prefer this one, we don't prefer Google. Okay, and don't prefer Chat GPT also. This is getters and setters, understood? Now let's talk about abstractions. Hope you understood the constructor and getter and setter now. Now what we are going to do about, we are going to talk about abstraction. What is abstraction? Hiding the important information. Huh? Anyone who knows the definition of this abstraction? It's already you discussed, right, in JavaScript. Yes, technically. So what we are trying to say in abstraction, let's say Abstraction, you can find it inside the notes, same file. So abstraction allows you to hide complex implementation details and show only the necessary information, right? In TypeScript, abstraction is simply typically achieved using abstract classes and interfaces. So how we achieve abstraction? By using abstract classes or interface. Now, what it is saying that, let's say generally we are using a calculator in our mobile phone, right? We use, and how easy it is to use. Just press the keys, operators equals to, and it will give you answer. You know how, what is the implementation behind that calculator? Very tough. So technically, whenever you are trying to say that I want to hide the complex information and I just want to show the necessary information to the user that user can use. Now, what is an abstract class? A abstract class can have both abstract method which must be implemented by subclasses and concrete methods. So now let's try to do it. Okay, what we are trying to do here is, and let me rename this file to abstract now, or simple abs. Okay, this is done. Now let's say I will create an abstract class. So I will say abstract class of shape. Abstract class of shape. And if you don't know what is a shape, let me discuss that also. What is a shape? For shape, this is a particular shape. This is also a shape, right? This is also a shape. So what do you mean by particular shape? A shape is a closed figure. First thing. Can you say that this is a shape? No, because this is not closed. So a shape is a closed figure which has at least three sides or a complete circle, because it doesn't have any side but it is also a shape, right? This circle doesn't have any side but it is a shape. So what you will write for shape? A shape is a closed figure which has at least three sides, because by making two sides you cannot create a closed shape. At least three we require at any cost. Maximum can be any number, can be 100 also, right? 1 2 3 100 also. So a shape is a closed figure which has at least three sides. Exception is circle that doesn't have any side. So there is an abstract class of shape, and we can calculate the area of all these shape. Let's say what is the area of a circle? Pi r square, right? What is pi? 22 by 7, and r means radius. We'll do it. So now this particular abstract class shape, it is going to have a function that will be a area function, right? That will be a area function. And what it will do? Area, or let's, we are just saying that abstract class shape will have a area function, right? It will have a area function. That's it. Now let's say there is a class of circle which is extends the shape. This particular class of circle is extending the shape. Now what if I do? I create this area as abstract, then we are getting the error on circle and we are getting error on area also. It is saying that method area cannot have an implementation because it is marked as abstract. Okay. So now let me first remove it, and technically I will do something here. Let's say there is a area function here which will accept one value, and in case of a circle it will accept the radius r, which will be in number, or it can be any number, right? It will accept one value. Then what it will return? It should return something. What it will return? Pi r square. So here you can directly use, so for that you have to write math dot pi. Math dot pi, it means that pi only. Math dot pi multiply by r and multiply by r. That's what we are getting. So area is saying not essentially but in base type shape. Okay, so let me remove area from there. And so we this class of circle is generally extending the class of shape. Now if you want to use this, let's say what I will do, object I will create, let's say let c1 equals to new circle, and once you are creating it, then c1 dot r, or once you are using the area function, that c1 dot area is accepting one value. So let's say here I will provide something as 10. Okay, what I have done, 10. Now it is supposed to return something as 314, something, this value it will return. Okay, so you can directly, oh acha, tell me one thing, if I am running this code, is it going to say me the answer? No. Why? Because area is returning the value, and if it is returning the value, there should be someone to accept this value, right? There should be someone to accept this value. So instead of that you can write or let me show you. If you are writing return and open the terminal, and now file name is abs.ts, and then node abs.js, and it is not printing anything. As expected, it is not printing anything. The reason is very simple. You are trying to use area, and what area is doing? Area is returning the value. Now let's say you took my pen today, right? You took my pen today, and tomorrow you want to return it to me. So you will return it to some entity, right? You cannot say that okay, your pen is on the table, take it. No. Generally whenever you are returning something, you will return it to someone. Someone should be there to accept that. Here there is no one. So one method is, when you are executing this c1 dot area, you can assign it to any value. So let's say let a equals to c1 dot area, and then print console dot log a. Then we can print console dot log a. This is what we can do. First thing, and this is not the only solution, there are other solution also. 314, as expected, it will get 314 with 10 value, and it's correct also. Now what is the next thing? Next thing is, whenever you are trying to execute c1 dot area, print it here itself. So I will say console dot log, and then I will print the value while calling the value. Okay, so this is done, and it's printing. Next thing is, you can print this particular value also. Instead of return, you can print this value. So here only I will write console.log. What is the one other command that we use instead of console.log? Document dot write. And this is done. And now it is not printing anything here, right? Why it is not printing anything? Because we are not executing the area now. So let execute. So c1 dot area, and here I will give 100 value, or not 100, let's say 7, right? Once you are giving the value as 7, so it is printing the value, and answer is correct only. Now this is not the abstraction actually, this is the clear class that I'm showing you. Now what is the another method of doing this part? So what we have written in the abstraction, in abstraction we have written that it allows you to hide the complex implementation. Now technically if you are saying about this part, this is somewhat a complex implementation that you are doing here. So instead of that, what I will do is, let's say this particular class of shape is having an abstract area, and what area will do? Area will return a number. Okay, means it will be of number type. Generally if you are calculating the area, it will be number only. Can your area be in string? Can your area be in string? No, area will be number only, whether it is decimal number or full number. So that's what I have written. In the abstract class of shape, I have declared one function. This is function, right? Because it has small brackets. So this area is a function. Which function? Abstract function. And once you are going to read what is this abstract, it is saying that it can have both abstract method as well implemented by subclasses and the concrete method. So technically your class can be an abstract as well as your function can be an abstract. What is this abstract? It is a way to achieve abstraction. Now if you again go back to heading, so we are saying there that and only hiding the complex implementation details and show only the necessary information. Let's say what we use for that, and let me do this part first. So instead of writing the area in this way, let's create a constructor here now, and constructor will accept one r which will be in number, and after that I will mark here as super keyword. So once you are writing super, it means this dot r equals to r. Okay, this dot r equals to r. After that construct is completed, when you are trying to call the area now, so what I will do is I will call the area, and technically area is a number, so it should return something. So return math dot pi multiply by r and then multiply by r, or technically this dot r and this dot r, this way. Now there is a problem in this particular code, and the problem is saying you this thing, that r does not exist on type circle. R does not exist on type circle. So instead of this super, if you are trying to write this dot r equals to nothing, means even the values are not there. If this class was having something like this, that it will have radius which will be number, then you can set it that this dot radius equals to r. In this way you can set, but now in this way you cannot set. The problem is this: the constructor will say you the constructor for derived classes must contain a super call. Now this particular circle class is deriving from an abstract class. It should be marked with the super keyword. Okay, now what is this super keyword? Not this way. What is this super keyword? Yes, what is this super keyword? So what it will do, it will call the base class properties. What it will do, it will call the base class. What is the base class here? Circle. Now if I want to use in this way, that area will accept the number, and here you can write something called as r. Okay guys, if you are getting some problem here, okay, confusion is there, so let me remove. First you go back to the its definition. So definition will say that abstraction allows you to hide the complex implementation. Let me open my calculator here. So if I am using this calculator, what I am seeing is a simple interface. Let's say 3.14 multiply by 10 and then again multiply by 10, and I will get the value. but whatever it is doing inside, I don't know about that, right? Let's say there are scientific calculator also. Now what I can do is I can just simply say pi and it will return the pi value, but I don't know how it is returning the value. I am just using it as a interface. So now abstraction is there. They are hiding the complex details inside, and they are giving us a simple interface to use. So we are just using it. Then in this next way, what we are doing, abstraction allows you to hide complex implementation details, and means both it will do show only the necessary information, and what it will do, it will show you the necessary information. So now let's say I will create an abstract class of shape, and it will have a abstract function area, and which will be in number. That simple thing I have written. Now what this shape will do, shape can be anything. It can be circle, it can be square, it can be rectangle also. So let me do it with circle. So there will be a class of circle which will extend the class of shape. When you are extending it, whenever you are extending it, why we use extend? For inheritance, right? We use extends for inheritance means this circle class will inherit all the properties of this abstract class shape. Okay, abstract class shape. After that, what we have written here, we have written that in TypeScript, abstraction is typically achieved using abstract classes and interfaces. So what we have doing here, we are just accepting a abstract class. And after that, what are the abstract classes? Generally, if you are saying here that this is abstract class, what is the abstract class? For that, it can have both abstract methods which must be implemented by subclass. Method means it may have some internal function which is abstract, and who will use this? Some subclasses. So this circle is the subclass, so it will use it. And it will say that and concrete methods with implementation. So there will be some concrete methods, they will implement it. Now for this class, let's create a constructor, and constructor will accept one value r which will be in radius. Oh, sorry, not radius, it will be number. Okay, and after that you have to write super here. So by using super, no need to write this dot r in that way. So technically the value will be given to the super class. But the case here is very simple. This r is actually a private variable because this is not given to class. So you have to make it public. So I will say that public r number. After the constructor, let's call the area, and area will be a number. So it should return a number. So let's say it is returning math.py multiply by r, and then multiply by r, or technically you can write here this dot r, and here also this dot r. So this is what we are doing. Okay, now whenever you are, let's say this is the abstract class and this is the class circle, let's try to use it. So I will say that let c1 equals to new circle, and generally what it is saying that it is expecting one argument because the constructor is there. So let me give here 10. After that, if you are saying c1 dot area, because area is returning the value, so I will directly print it here, console.log c1 dot area. Let's try to use it now. And it is printing the area. But the case is how it is hiding the complex information now. Because information are still available in the main class. The question here is how it is hiding the complex informations here. For that, let me do it again. So what I will do, let's say there is a class of square, which again will extends the shape. And inside this will have a constructor which will accept one public side which will be in number, which will be in number, and you have to annotate it with the super keyword. Super means giving reference for the base class. After that, let's call the area function here also. So area function is calling here, and technically this area will be number. And after that you can return what you need to return. What is the side multiply by side? So technically it will be this dot side, this dot side for the class of square. Let's try to do it. So at first we have declared the circle, and let me declare the square after that. So I will say let s1 equals to new square, and after square will take one value, so let's give it to something as 1.2. And after that I will say console.log s1 dot area, s1 dot area. Now what is the answer for this question? What will be the square's area if the side is 1.2? What will be the area if the side is 1.2? What will be the answer? Don't use mobile, say it fast. 14.4. How it can be 14.4? How it can be 14.4? 2.4. Arey wah. 1.2 multiply by 1.2. Arey. It will be 1.44. It will be 1.44. 1.44. Right? Array's case is simple. You are trying to multiply 1.2 by 1.2, and the someone said 14.4. How it can be 14.4? Let's say this value is 2 instead of 1.2, and this is also 2. Then only answer will 4. Right? Even if you are writing a larger value, then also answer will be 4. How 1.2 can be 14.4? It will be 1.4. There are two decimal points, one here and one here, so decimal will come on two digits. So 1.44 will be your answer. Now the question here is how it is hiding the complex information. How it is hiding. How it is hiding the complex information. Now go back to the notes and okay. Yes, the notes are saying that abstraction will hide the complex implementation and it will show the necessary information. But once you see the code, how it is hiding the necessary information? Anybody can explain this? And this is the abstraction only. This is how you are achieving the abstraction, but how it is hiding the necessary informations? Yes, how it is hiding? I will tell you. Let's talk about this circle class. It is using please share drive link. Guys, again, I don't want to repeat this thing. Don't ask Google Classroom or Drive to me. Talk to the IT admins for that. This particular class of circle is extending the shape. So technically, this area function is coming from shape. Now, within the background, which thing will go to the user? This class? No. This will go to the user, not this one. If user is trying to use it, so user will have access to the abstract class, not the subclass. So by making it an abstract class, you are trying to say that this is the parent class and these two are the child class. But functions are written within the child, which will not be visible to user whenever you are creating some application. This will become visible to user, that user will see, okay, there is only one area, I can see this part. Once we are developing a complete Angular application, then I will show you this in a complete within the front end also. Okay, understood? So technically this abstract class, this area is coming from this abstract class. Do you have any mathematical formula written here? No. So user will see area. User will not see that math.py, this dot r, and then user will not see this particular thing, this dot side multiply by side. User will not see this. What user will see? Area. And area is a function. That's it. Now let's say in this calculator, if I'm writing something like this E, do you know what is E? E is Euler's number, and this is the value of E. But how it is giving the value, we don't know. What it is doing inside, we don't know. We are just checking what is E and it is returning the value. This is the value of pi 3.14159265 like this, right? If we remove abstract, okay, if you are trying to remove the abstract method from area in this way, so now area is giving you an error. So it will say you that function implementation is missing or not immediately following the declaration. For that, what you have to do, you have to declare this function and you have to return a number here. Let's say return 10. Now again the same thing, you are showing your details to the user, right? User can understand that what your particular function is returning. So if we want to hide it, we have to mark it with the abstract keyword. Abstract keyword means this will not be visible to the user now. Okay, this will not be visible to the user now. Okay, now let's talk about generics. So now we are left with only three topics in TypeScript, that are generics, decorators, namespace modules. Inside this only we have two different topics. Namespace module. Inside this, naming convention is there, and one particular topic is inside this TSC config. So these three topics are there, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Polymorphism we discussed yesterday. It is just you can use one particular function multiple times in different way. Now you can check the recording and notes, guys. Now let's talk about generics. How many of you have idea about this particular word? Not in programming, in general terms. What is generics? What is generics? Yes, what is generics? Guys, let me clear you one thing, and I think I have discussed it multiple times. Reddy, you are joining the class daily, and daily I am saying that notes link, this link, I cannot answer these questions. You have to talk to IT admins for notes link or recording links, whatever. Don't ask me these questions, please. Talk to the IT admins for this part. And I will upload these all the codes to the GitHub so that you can access easily. Okay, I'll upload entire thing. I will provide the GitHub link because you are facing the problem in downloading that zip file. That's why. Now let's talk about generics. So yes, I was asking how many of you have any idea about generics? Generics means, let's discuss. This note I will upload today only. That generics in TypeScript allows you to create reusable, type safe component and function that can work with any data type. Now, Whatever we have discussed in TypeScript till now, we are going to do that. So technically, let's say there is a, okay, I will open and generics. I will create a folder generics. Inside generics, let's say I will create a file as gener.ts. Inside this, let me create a class here. So I will say that the particular class is human class, and it will be having age and which will be in number, right? Age will be in number, but age can be string also. Now let's go back to the definition what we have written. First understand it, that instead of specifying a particular type, what we are doing in TypeScript, every time we are specifying that this will be a number, this will be a string. Can't we have some one thing that we can use everywhere? So yes, generics is there. So instead of that, you can use a placeholder, that is a type variable that gets replaced with the specific type. Let's say you are writing something like this t. Now it will accept number values, string values, boolean values. It will accept everything if you're writing like this way. Okay. Why we use generics? Generics provide flexibility and reusability. Means if your one variable can hold multiple values, it will be flexible, right? There is no need of, you can reuse it. And they allow TypeScript to enforce type safety without sacrificing the ability to work with a variety of types. One value, let's say age is there, age will actually accept, if you are writing age in this way, now this will accept value in particularly number format also, and it will accept the string format also, right? So what we were doing in union, right? We were providing union. Let's say if you are writing age, what we use for union? Or method. So age can be a number or string. Now age can accept, so we can replace this part by generics. Now, so in TypeScript, generic classes allows you to define classes that work with any type. So how we declare the values? Let's say, so now this human will be a having t type. T, I'm just writing here t, which means that type, and this particular age will be of t type. I'm not saying number, string, anything. Okay, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying this: my class of human will be of t type, age will also be t. Let's create its constructor, and I will say not constructor. Let's try to use this class now. So I will say that let s1. So here I will comment one thing, and I will say creating object for first student. Now let's say there is one student came on your application and he tried to use the application. So let s1 equals to new human, and s1 dot age is equals to, he written 20, right? And yes, it is working. Let's try to print this value. So I will say console dot log s1 dot age, and we are into new file, that is gener now. So I will say gener.ts, tsc, and then we have to run the javascript file gener dot. Okay, it is inside the generics folder. So first we need to go to the cd generics, and then I have to write tsc gener.ts, and then I will write node gener.js, and it's printing 20. Okay, it's working fine. Let's create the second object. So I will comment out and I will say creating the second object for, let's say creating object for first human, because it's a human class. creating the second object for human. So I will say that let s2 equals to new human, and here I will say s1 dot age is equals to 22, and after that I will print it console dot log, and if you are writing s2 dot age, it is supposed to print the 22 in the same way. So let's open the terminal and I will say tsc gina.ts, and then I will say node gina.js. It is saying 20 and for here it is undefined. Okay, this is we have to write s2 here. Oh, missed it. So tsc gina.ts, and now 20 and 22. Now this age is accepting both values, but how this magic is working? Because this magic is working because we are saying that human will be a generic class. Generic class means it will have the type safety automatically, you don't have to write it. And this age generally we write here is number. If you are writing the number here, this s2 dot age is having problem because you are setting string here. If you are writing string here that my age will be string, number will have the error because you are setting the number. If you are creating a union that it will accept both string and number, then it will work. But why to use string and number? Let's say I'm using true false. For that you are already using a generic class t. What happened? So we can typecast that our age will be t. Now, why I'm specifically using T? Is it mandatory? No, it's not mandatory. Generics means this particular angular bracket, like HTML tag kind of thing. You can use any value. Let's say I'm using S here. So you have to typecast this to S and everything will work fine without any problem. Okay. It is just a value that you are using here. 2022. It's working fine. And the same thing I have mentioned in notes also. There is a note you can check that the word T is a letter used here. You can use any particular letter. Okay. What is the purpose of using generics when we are accepting all kind of type? It defeats the purpose of using TypeScript. No, Gopesh, I think you are not understanding the case here. This is a particular generics and we will not use it everywhere. Let's say for age we will use it because user is allowed to enter age in all the two ways. Sometime you have to write your ways in. Okay, let me tell you one thing. How many of you know about this particular website? And now it is Meta. Tell me in which particular languages Facebook is written. Tell me, how many of you know? Google it. Giving you 1 minute. Google it and tell me fast. In which particular language the Facebook is written? We got the answers in group because they are using internet. PHP. And now we are not even using PHP. How many of you ever used PHP? No. .NET peoples, you have used PHP and you will not use. No one, like except one or two peoples, no one will use PHP. The Facebook, entire Facebook is written in PHP, and PHP is very older method, very slow, very older. It's not using any Node, React, this, that. It is using PHP. But what Facebook is doing, Facebook is very easy to use. So technology doesn't matter. Your particular application should be good. Your application should be good. So technically here we are not assigning this generics to everyone. For age we will how to upgrade the LinkedIn. Okay, we will take one particular session for that in which we will be doing how to build resume and how to update your LinkedIn, right? Now let me upload all these things to GitHub so that you can use. If you don't know GitHub, I think I have shown you GitHub in your class also, right? So go to my username and I will paste in the same thing to the Google Classroom. So here I will say oops in TypeScript. Hmm? What are you? Offline, online. Who is Venkat Suresh? Raga Venkat Suresh. Is there any student offline available? Raga Venkat Suresh. Now we have uploaded all the things to GitHub. Let's check whether they are coming there or not. And everything is inside this repository. Now you can open this file. The files are available. I will share this GitHub repository link in Google Classroom along with the notes so you can access this. Who is Venkat Suresh? Now you can tell. Yes, who is Venkat Suresh? No one? Okay. One day we will have dedicated session how to build resume, and I will tell you my resume template that I am using from my day 1 to today. I have not changed my resume, and with the same resume I have cracked Flipkart and Amazon both, so you can use that. Arey, you know na it's December. I cracked Amazon in July and I talked about Amazon. The July came in my mind. Don't talk, guys. Notes you are getting, code you are not getting. For code, I have uploaded the file for that, a GitHub link, so you can get it. So today we discussed about class, generic classes. Tomorrow we will discuss about decorate. At first we will discuss about to whom to contact. Contact IT admin. She dropped the message in the group. No, something like Monica. You can contact her. Guys, don't talk. So yes, you can check the GitHub repo link. How many start Angular? How many start Angular? What is this?